Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on Ja Morant's second signature shoe with Nike, the Ja 2. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and please hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Ja 2 features this multi-directional traction pattern, which is supposed to be inspired by Ja Morant's days on a tractor. This is supposed to be like a tractor tire tread pattern. And, for the most part, it is pretty good. If you are playing on your clean courts, you're going to have absolutely no issues. You're going to be able to stop on a dime. The bite is going to be very, very hard on those clean courts. Yeah, zero issues when it comes to the clean courts. If you are playing on your dustier courts, you might have some small issues here and there. I would say overall, for the most part, the traction was actually very good on those dustier courts. However, I did have some slip-ups. Not to the point where I completely slid out or anything, but just because it does catch you off guard a little bit when you do a small slide. And I really notice the sliding when I'm trying to push off, like when I'm trying to, make a cut or about to make a cut or something like that, right? I have like a little slip when I'm putting all that torque into my back foot, and I just, lose out on a little bit of speed, and it does catch you off guard. When it comes to those hard lateral movements though, I didn't really have any sliding issues there. It was really more in a linear fashion where I did have a little bit of slip ups on those dustier courts. So my suggestion would be, wipe. It does pick up a little bit of dust, so you will have to do the occasional wipe to keep these cleaner on those dustier courts. But yeah, overall, I will say that the traction was good. So moving on to the cushion, the Ja 2 features a full-length foam midsole. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Maybe it's Phylon, maybe it's Cushlon. Honestly, I have no idea. But what you're gonna get in the heel is, decent impact protection, or I would say adequate impact protection. If you are doing heavy heel landings, you will feel the impact eventually. As you move into the forefoot of the shoe, you do obviously have that same foam midsole, but in here you actually have a small rectangular top-loaded zoom unit. It does feel nice. You do get a nice little bounce out of it. You actually still feel pretty low to the ground and responsive in the shoe as well, which is also very, very nice and something that I particularly really like in my shoes. So yeah, for me, the cushion setup was perfectly fine. It's honestly nothing special nowadays, but yeah, it does the job pretty damn well. If you are expecting a lot of impact protection, you want that like a very cushiony cushion setup, then this is definitely not going to be it. But for me, who's a guard, who likes to be quick and shifty, light on their feet, this was honestly very, very nice for me. So moving on to the materials, at least on this particular pair, you do have this textile material, and over it, you have this plastic screen mesh. In the toe box area, you actually have this open mesh. It's nice and soft, conforms to the foot very well. I think on other colorways, the materials are going to be different. It might just be like a straight up textile, and you won't have this plastic screen mesh on top of it. And personally, I don't think this really does anything anyways. I feel like it's more for aesthetics, maybe some added durability. So, anything that happens to the materials is happening to the plastic first. But yeah, in terms of the materials, it does a great job in terms of the performance. Could it feel a little bit better? Obviously, yes. But, when it comes to material usage on the shoe, I think it's perfectly fine. Like I said, it does the job. In terms of the performance, I can't really complain about the material usage on the shoe. As you move towards the tongue, you actually have the same mesh material. And what's actually really nice, at least in this colorway, is this upper of the tongue, or the upper part of the tongue. It is this suede material, probably fake suede, but it just is a nice premium touch just to have on the shoe. But yeah, overall material usage, I think it's perfectly fine. So moving on to the fit of the shoe, this does run true to size in my opinion. It's definitely narrow. I would say this isn't as narrow as the Ja 1 though. So if you have played in the jaw ones, I would recommend you all probably get the same exact size. Me as a slightly wide footer, I did go true to size, and I felt a little bit of pressure up in the forefoot/midfoot area of the shoe. If you have wide feet, I would say go up a half size for sure. Depending on how wide your foot is, you could probably get away with going true to size. If you have narrow feet or normal feet, I think going true to size is your best bet. The materials lie very nicely over my foot. Overall, I do think that the fit of the shoe was good. I felt very snug and secure in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, I think true to size is the best bet for most people. If you have wide feet, then I would suggest going up a half size. So moving on to the support. The Jaw 2 does have an internal heel counter. I didn't have any heel slippage in the shoe. My heel felt very locked in and secure. When it comes to side-to-side movements on the footbed, I didn't have any issues there as well. I think the materials do a great job of making sure your foot is nice and planted and you're not sliding around anywhere. When it comes to hard lateral movements, you're going to be covered there as well. I would say this is a fairly wide base, and the rubber actually does protrude to create an outrigger to make sure you aren't rolling over on those hard lateral movements. And then when it comes to torsional rigidity and stability, like there is actually a top-loaded shank plate in here, but I still wouldn't say this is the most torsionally rigid and stable shoe. But honestly, for me, like I didn't have any issues when it comes to that. One thing I will say I did have an issue though is with that top-loaded shank. And I'm not exactly sure if it's just me, but I can actually feel it like digging into my foot a little bit when I do walk in the shoe or play in the shoe in general. Especially when I'm bending, right? Like anytime my foot bends, I feel that shank just digging into like the bottom of my foot. And it does get a little bit uncomfortable at times. But it might just be a me issue. I know some other people who have this, and they said that that's not an issue for them. So if you do have this shoe and you are having that problem, leave a comment down below, or even if you're not, let me know that you don't have that issue, because I really am wondering if it's just a me problem. But yeah, I mean, overall, besides that, obviously, that's not really a support issue. But yeah, in terms of the support, I think the Jaw 2 had fantastic support. So the Jaw 2 retails for $120, and for $120, I think it's a good price for the shoe. Like, in my opinion, this is like kind of like a budget, maybe like slightly above budget model type of shoe. I mean, you have like a Phylon full-length Phylon midsole, a Zoom unit. I mean, this is still a solid performer, right? It's just, this is associated with Ja Morant, so they can charge a little bit more, or Nike can charge a little bit more. But I still think it's a good performer. For 120 bucks, you might be able to get something around the same price or slightly cheaper that performs better. But I still don't think this is a bad performing shoe. Maybe just like $10 or $15, like a little overpriced in my opinion for what you get. However, still a great performer. Honestly, the biggest issue for me was that top-loaded shank, how it does create a little bit of, it just makes my foot uncomfortable because I do feel that shank digging into my foot a little bit, but that might not happen to you. And for 120 bucks, like this is still a good performer, don't get me wrong. And I personally like these better than the Jaw 1 just because these do fit my feet much, much better. If you all wanted to pick up a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and please, hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. Leave a comment too, that also really helps me out. Check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.